No, not yet. Obviously got a main session to go now in the next couple of hours, and then obviously our main selection. So we've obviously had preliminary talks. We've had lots of time to talk about it, so we've got a rough idea, but at this point there's nothing to release.
There's been a lot of talk that there could be some debutants coming in, or at least first games with the club. Is that something that's been kind of talked about internally this week?
Yeah, well, every individual's up for selection, so there's no doubt that there's guys that have trained really well in the last couple of weeks and have put their hand up. So, as I said, there won't be anything at this point, but we expect we're going to pick our best side. So whatever that is, if those guys are ready for it, then we'll certainly play them.
Is Tom today ready to play full game footy?
Yeah. Tom's got through every training, so full match sim, looks in really good shape, good spirits. Certainly a player that we value highly. So we'd like to think that he's going to be around this weekend.
That must be exciting for him and the team, given he's a leader as well. A lot of boys, he hasn't played much to look up for.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a young man, but he's got some great leadership qualities, and we value that highly. So, yeah, it's exciting to have him back, because it was he was a big hole in our backline last year, and with the I guess the demographic of our group at the moment, he's really important to be part of the growth.
Another one, I know you don't want to sort of confirm anything, but another one of the young lads that we've heard mentioned a lot this week, Steve McHenry. What have you seen from him in the last, I suppose the last 3 months to suggest that he's around the mark?
Yeah, Ned's been really good, not only in match sim but just around the club. He had a bit to learn last year when he first came in. He had to learn about structures and systems and how to play, but he played some really good sample footy. He's done well in our trials, so he's pushing his claim for sure. He's a very excitable type of player, and he'll give people a lot to cheer about, I think, in the future.
He's got a bit of niggle about him too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a bit. Yeah, he enjoys that. So for a little fella, he's got a reasonable mouth, so he'll enjoy it if he gets an opportunity.
Similarly, Ben Keys and Ben Crocker coming over from other clubs as rookies. There's been a lot of talk they could slot in for round 2. What have you seen from that pair that you like?
Yeah, they've been really good, obviously getting their next chance at another club, and Benny Keys in particular, obviously spending a lot of time with myself in the midfield, has done nothing wrong. He's a workhorse. He's played across half forward, he's played midfield, he's played wing. His bundle of energy. He brings a lot to the table, and he's played a few games, so he brings a little bit of experience as well. So he's been great. And Benny Crocker, obviously playing across half forward, he works as hard as anybody out there. So he's pushing his claim for sure, and he's at this point he's taken everything in front of him, and hopefully he'll get a chance soon.
I suppose for these guys who could play their first game for the club, there's no better game to get into than Showdown, is there?
Yeah, well, it's a unique one, isn't it? With a couple of thousand people and a showdown after a few months off. It's a pretty exciting day for football in the state, and if those guys get that chance, it won't have the same feel, obviously without the fans there, but hopefully the game's still as good as ever.
Mick, talk us through that midfield mix that you've had to work with this year. It's an expanded group from the outside looking in what you've had last year to work with.
Yeah, we've, I guess, a bit one-dimensional probably in the past, so we're trying to open those dimensions up a little bit. We've added some guys and some guys with some real dynamic movement, but they also have a bit to learn in terms of the method of midfield. So we'll have some good and we'll have some bad days, but it's a much bigger group than we've had in the past, which means that the guys that have played in there have had to learn to adapt to other positions as well. So we'll see more of that in the future.
How do they go with that balance? How does it for you, sort of having to tell Brad Crouch that he might have to have 5 less centre bounces this weekend because you've got to fit in Rory Atkins or Brody Smith or whatnot?
It's just part of the process. Brad, he likes to be where the ball is. There's no doubt, but as part of a team first mentality, that's what he'll adjust to that as well, and he has. He's been outstanding in all the meetings. He wants to learn as well because it adds a new element to his game. He's generally only played inside mid, so this is a chance for him to play some different areas. But make no mistake, he's a premier midfielder, and we want him in there as much as possible. But to add some strength to his bow would be a good thing.
What can those boys do? Brad, Matt, Rory, what are they best at aside from being the premier inside mid? Is it the wing stuff or is it the half forward stuff? Where do they play their secondary best football?
Yeah, well, Matt's probably more mid back. Like he's probably a better player to construct the play. Brad and Rory are really good when they go forward. As individuals, we could put them at full forward and they'll get the job done. So they're competitive. They've got some speed. they look good in the forward line. So those two in particular can go forward, and Matt's probably not so much, but he did do a little bit of forward last year, but predominantly sort of middle back.
But Mick, you were beat at the contest in round one. We still see Brodie Smith and Paul Steedman in the centre now as much as we did against Sydney? Yeah,
definitely. We'll see that as part of the process. We didn't have a great day against Sydney in that space, and we can't hide from that. There's some method in that needed to be taught, but also some individuals that we didn't quite get it done on the day. So Sydney didn't spin their midfield at all. We did. We probably won't spin it as much as we did on that day, but we still want to expose these guys to this so we can, find the best mix.
With Tommy Duday's likely return, can he, Fisher, Maxey and Daniel Charlie play in the same defence?
Yeah, most definitely. They can. Tales generally plays on that bigger guy, but Maxey and Duday can play a little bit on both. So, we can certainly fit that mix in.
On a slightly different topic, the AFL has confirmed it's investigating Ollie Wines over a potential breach of COVID rules. Do you think he should play this weekend?
I don't really have an opinion, to be honest. I think I've only just heard about it myself, so I don't really know the detail. So it'd be inappropriate for me to make a comment, I would say.
The Crows were made a bit of an example of over their Barossa training incident. Surely you'd like to see some kind of penalty handed down, and the AFL itself has indicated that penalties would be handed down. So do you have any view on what would be an acceptable penalty in this situation?
No, I don't. I really don't. I believe that the AFL are handling a very unique situation at the moment, and are doing a great job to this point. And we certainly, we've paid for what we did, and that's, we accept that responsibility for that. So what happens to other clubs is not really my concern.
You see these guys day in, day out, and players are having to live under much stricter rules than the general public. How do you think they're coping with that?
It's not easy for them. It's we are still in isolation as people, so our general lives. We had a day off yesterday, and our life is pretty boring, to be honest. But we're getting to play footy, so the positives outweigh the negatives. There's no doubt about that. So, but the players have needed a fair amount of support around this as well. So it's not as easy as just throwing them in isolation, getting them COVID tested twice a week, and then living the different scenarios that we have within a footy club, because we're in small groups, and it's a whole new world for them. But they've adapted really well, and they accept the responsibility they've got, and we've got to set an example in the community, and that's what we'll do.
What is being told to players about these situations, about interviews with media, and especially some of the ones that do have deals with media organisations? What is being told to them, and how do you ensure that they do follow the rules?
Yeah, well, we can only do what we can do. We can't follow them 24/7, but the education is there. The education from the club consistently is there. Our COVID coordinator is sending out emails constantly, and we're learning. Everyone learns every day, because the goalposts change a lot. So we have to be up to speed with it, and the players just know that they don't really do anything unless they're 100% sure it's correct, and if it's not, then they ask the question.
So looking forward, across the league, do you think Port Adelaide might not be the only club that experiences something like this, because people are being faced with the situation that we're seeing?
Human error will always be there, for sure, and in young players that have got a lot on their plate, potentially there's an opportunity that something might happen again, but I don't think it's going to be too drastic.
How much, who bears the responsibility? Is it the player, or is it the broadcaster, or is it the club? In situations where they're interacting, what do you think?
I think we all have a responsibility for the greater good of making sure that we keep this COVID under control. So I don't think we point a finger at anybody. I think the government have shown very clearly it's about education. We've never lived through this before, so some will listen, some won't listen as well. But I think everyone bears the front on that.
Tex, just one quick text floated earlier in the year playing on the wing, obviously as a forward, and Ruck's been spoken about. How seriously is that Ruck role, kind of as a second ruckman or just a backup ruckman, being planned for from the coach's end?
Yeah, pretty seriously. I think we, with the shorter game time, shorter quarters, we'll look to demand a lot from our number one rucks, but I think you'll see across the AFL that second ruck is generally going to be filled by somebody else that's not a genuine ruckman, unless they can go forward and make a big impact. So in particular with Tex, he's certainly been used in that before, and we'll continue to use him at certain times.